Are chimps people? I'm John Deere for Blob Law, and today we look at the facts and science behind a series of strange lawsuits designed to prove that chimpanzees are entitled to the same rights as human beings. It's an odd tale with a lot of surprises that's unfolding even as we speak. The story starts in the state of New York, where the Non-Human Rights Project has filed a series of petitions for habeas corpus, arguing that several chimps which are privately owned are being wrongfully imprisoned. Habeas corpus is a fundamental constitutional right belonging to people. It is a legal petition used to bring prisoners before a court to ask the court to determine whether he or she should be set free. In other words, it applies to people, not animals. The Non-Human Rights Project did that on purpose so the courts would have no choice but to rule whether chimps have a right to habeas corpus, which is a strictly human right. The NHRP believes that chimps are so smart and sensitive that holding them in captivity or exploiting them the way humans have for centuries is wrong. They have not alleged animal cruelty, but merely that it is unjust to hold primates. To bolster their case, the Non-Human Rights Project offers startling evidence of the similarities between chimps and humans, not just in terms of their physicality, but in terms of their thinking and emotions. Chimps are our closest living relative. Chimps and humans share 99% of the same DNA. Only the bonobo monkey has as much in common. To give it some perspective, humans share 50% of our DNA with a banana. The Non-Human Rights Project also introduced strong evidence that chimps share a lot more with humans than just DNA. According to a series of declarations made under oath provided by leading chimpanzee specialists, chimps feel emotions much the same way people do. They understand perspectives of others, they understand death, and they feel empathy. Chimps have individualized self-awareness. That means they recognize themselves in mirrors and they know the difference between themselves and other chimps. They even have sophisticated language skills. Not only in their own language, but they've been trained to understand up to 350 words in English Sign Language. One chimp, Washu, was trained over many years and rigorously tested using a double-blind method. All independent observers agreed that Washu had learned to communicate using sign language for abstract expression the way humans use language. In other words, the sign for banana referred to any banana, dog for any dog, etc. The genetic relationship between humans and chimpanzees is so strong it has caused many to theorize about a human-chimp hybrid, the so-called humanzee. In the early 20th century, a Russian scientist named Ilya Ivanovich Ivanov attempted to create such a creature using artificial insemination. The purpose of his experiments was to refute creationism and show that man did in fact come from apes. However, his experiments were cut short when he was sent to Siberia in a political purge. In the 1970s and 80s, the owner of a chimp named Oliver claimed he was a humanzee. Oliver was said to have only 47 chromosomes, one less than an ordinary ape and one more than a human. In the 1990s, scientists tested him and determined he had 48 chromosomes, the proper number for a chimp. In the end, Oliver was pure chimp. The Non-Human Rights Project believes that all animals, not just chimps, are entitled to the same rights as people. They intentionally selected chimps to get the ball rolling because of the closeness between chimps and humans. Nevertheless, despite all this evidence of the relationship between humans and chimps, the advanced thinking, ability to empathize and feel emotion, self-awareness, understanding of death, and sophisticated language ability of chimps, the New York courts did not buy the argument that chimps are entitled to the constitutional rights of humans. The Non-Human Rights Project contends they expected these rulings, and it is part of the overall strategy to change the law and earn chimps the same rights as people. That court ruling makes sense. Whatever we think of animals, they don't have the same obligations to society that people have. They don't pay taxes, they're not held culpable in the same way for their behavior. For example, if a chimp steals a banana, it doesn't go to jail. outside the United States, some foreign courts have given chimps a special non-person-person status. However, for the time being, in the United States, chimps are protected by the same laws that protect all animals against animal cruelty. If you like this episode, please subscribe. That's what keeps us going. I'm John Deere for Blob Law. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.